I ruined my life by pretending to be my twin brother in front of my girlfriend. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube with notifications on and follow on Instagram. Yesterday, I decided to prank my girlfriend by pretending to be my twin brother. This is very random, I know, but I've always wondered if I could fool her into thinking that I was him. It was time. So there I was, approaching my house and ringing my doorbell, completely in character. I was wearing torn denim and Converse sneakers, the complete opposite of what I normally wear, but exactly the style to match my brother. I was walking like him, talking like him, sounding like him, and even smelling like him. My girlfriend eventually opened the door and saw deepfake me standing there. Regardless of how well prepared I was to play my twin brother, the moment I locked eyes with my girlfriend, I expected her to see right through my facade. She stared at me, confused. At first, I wasn't sure if that was because she knew it was me or because she was surprised to see that it's my brother. There was only one way to find out. I said hi and dropped the, "Hey, I was in the neighborhood" line. My girlfriend suddenly pulled me inside and slammed the door shut. Girlfriend, are you out of your mind showing up here like this? Me, I thought I'd visit. Girlfriend, I thought we agreed to stop seeing each other. Me, what do you mean? Girlfriend, what the heck do you mean? What do I mean? Whatever that was between us, it's over. Go home to your fiancé. Me, enough. It's me, your boyfriend. Girlfriend, you don't know when to give up, do you? I showed her my ID. I've never seen so many mixed emotions flash across her face at that moment. At first, she tried to play it off like she was in on the act all along, and this whole interaction was nothing more than a cheating girlfriend narrative she fabricated on the spot just to mess with me. I wasted no time calling my brother and forcing a confession out of him. This MF admitted to seeing my girlfriend off and on behind my back for months. When that call ended, so did my relationship with both of them. So in the end, I pranked my girlfriend by pretending to be my twin brother and realized that the two of them were secretly pranking me by pretending to be people that I could trust. The betrayal from your girlfriend is horrible and arguably just as bad, if not worse, is a betrayal from your own brother. I wonder what it was that drew the girlfriend to his twin brother that the OP himself didn't have. Obviously, they had a different style, probably a different personality, but if they're identical twins, and it sounds like they obviously are because you couldn't tell them apart, then looks, age, height, and anything that's purely physical isn't even a factor. But man, that is crushing, especially since she wasn't even honest when she got caught. She tried to play it off like she was joking the whole time. In a situation like that, it's probably pretty easy to tell that you know that they weren't joking. You could tell that they were serious, especially if this whole flash of emotions goes across their face. I've never really heard of a situation like this, but if you have, let me know down below in the comments. Today, I messed up by unnecessarily trying to ID someone at work. I am a white person who works at the register at a gas station in a tight-knit, predominantly African-American neighborhood. Yes, this is relevant to the story. Everyone knows everyone. Yesterday, while I was checking out a customer's items, my manager came up and let me know that someone under 21 had been sold cigarettes, so we would need to crack down on IDing anyone who looks under 40. The customer I was serving looked under 40, so I fell into my script without thinking and I asked for an ID. He got very upset, and it took me a couple of seconds to realize what I'd done. He was only buying soda and chips. I apologized profusely. I told him I didn't need an ID. I explained what happened. He didn't look pleased, which is understandable, but he seemed to accept my apology, paid, and left. This morning, I wake up to a WTF text from one of my friends. It was a screenshot of a Facebook post, which was a picture of me, my name, and the gas station I work at. The post accused me of racism, and it's gaining traction with quite a few comments and a lot of likes. This will be an interesting day at work today. Was I the jerk? I can't really even see how this could possibly be racism. It's not like he was asking anything that had to do with his race. The age doesn't have anything to do with his race either. Maybe he thought that he wouldn't have asked other people for their ID, but I mean, it was obviously a mistake. That's gotta suck being in a small town and everyone sees you as being that, because even if you try and explain yourself, it'll probably stick around for a while. People will look back at this post if this is something that a lot of people saw, or at least talk about this post. I mean, mistakes happen. This guy made a mistake. it's not even some sort of permanent mistake, something that's irreversible. He just asked the guy his ID and then said, oh, never mind. So I'm not sure what the big deal is here, but let me know what you think down below in the chat. Jerk or not a jerk, and what would you do if you were the one that this whole post was about? Am I the jerk for going to a work dinner alone because my fiancé didn't want to change? It wasn't a work dinner per se, but a celebratory dinner with my colleagues my boss organized to congratulate/thank us for the past year. It was no black tie event, but it was at a nicer restaurant and with my boss, so there was a certain decorum expected. Partners were allowed, so I thought to bring my fiancé and she agreed. Lately, my fiancé has been dressing less conservatively, for lack of a better word, which hasn't really fazed me much because whatever. But I kind of expected her to dress a bit more appropriately given the setting and the company. When I picked her up though, she was dressed in these fishnet stockings, short shorts, and a blazer with no shirt/bra underneath. I reminded her that my boss will be there and where we were going, and she said that it didn't matter. I told her that it wasn't appropriate and that we still had time if she could find something else. If it matters, I was wearing jeans and a sweater. Long story short, she said she wasn't interested in changing, and if it bothered me so much, I should go alone. So I went alone. As expected, everyone else also dressed casually, but not too casual. Dinner lasted a couple of hours and then I returned home. My fiance was mad that I left without her and said that I was being controlling/wasted her time since she got all dressed up and put on makeup. I understand her disappointment, but it wasn't appropriate for where we were going and she didn't want to change. So, am I the jerk for going to a work dinner alone because my fiance didn't want to change? Maybe the fiance in the situation was resistant to change because she didn't know in advance how they were going to be dressing at this thing and she wanted to dress however she wanted to but didn't want to change at the last second. Maybe if she knew in advance that there was going to be a sort of dress expectation, she wouldn't have said yes to going in the first place. But that said, if it was a dinner for work and she's not willing to dress to match what the expectation is, then she's in a way indirectly asking the OP to be okay with the consequences. So by not doing something, she is doing something. And that is putting him in a position where he either has to feel embarrassed, unprofessional, or explain himself. At least that's how he sees it here. If your fiance asked you to change what you were wearing to go to a work dinner, would you do it? And let me know, jerk or not a jerk, and why. Am I the jerk for refusing to let a female student use the bathroom? Okay. So I know how the title makes me look like a major jerk, but hear me out. I'm a 46-year-old male and I work at a high school as a PE teacher, and recently I noticed that a student of mine, let's call her A, stopped participating in class, and her excuse would always be the same. Mr. Smith, me, I'm on my period. Can I please go to the bathroom? This carried on every PE lesson for 1 month when our unit was dancing, and I had to give each student a mark. At this point, student A was concerningly behind everyone on our unit, and I had nothing to grade her on, and I was getting increasingly annoyed, and up until this point, I had never told her no when she always asked to use the bathroom and would come back after 45 minutes. So once again, she asked if she could use the bathroom because she was on her period, and I just snapped and said, A, if you're on your period this often, multiple times in 2 months, then I honestly think you need medical help. I have to grade you. Come up and participate. Later that day, around 1700 hours, I was placed on temporary leave because I got complaints from A's parents, and A had also gotten her friends and their parents to complain. I was being called sexist and multiple other names by students' parents, and I was honestly so confused. And multiple of the students' parents threatened the principal to turn to social media or even enroll their girls in another school because of me, since they felt unsafe with a sexist teacher. So, am I the jerk for refusing to let a female student use the bathroom? And what should be my next action to regain the parents' respect? So, all of this could have easily been accomplished in retrospect by saying no, but not making a joke or a comment out of what she was doing in the bathroom. It sounds like that was the ultimate fuel to the fire. If it was the other way around and he just said, no, I need something to grade you on, so you need to participate, and then later on the school asked why, you could explain, explain, oh, well, she leaves for 45 minutes every single class. But he kind of just put her on blast in front of everyone and said what he said about her needing medical help because of her medical condition. I kind of assumed that a lot of the responses would be the total opposite of that, but actually the top comment on this says, it is never okay to comment on a teenage girl's biological functions, true or untrue. And then later on updated the post to say, or anyone else's biological functions for that matter. So which side of this are you on, and is the OP a jerk or not? Let me know down below. Am I the jerk for how I reacted to my fiancé surprising me with our dream house? I'm not sure if I'm the world's most ungrateful person right now or not so. My fiancé and I are getting married soon. The plan was that once we got married, I would move in with him, and then when we were ready to start a family, we would buy a house together. I guess he changed his mind because he surprised me with our dream house. The house is beautiful, and if we had house hunted together, I think I would have fallen in love with it. However, I was so upset we wouldn't be able to pick our forever home together that I just started crying when he told me. I didn't know how to explain my reaction, and I could see I had upset him, so I asked him to take me home. When I got home, my family asked me what happened, and I explained. They were all very upset with me and said my reaction was bad, and that I should have just been happy that he had bought us a house. They told me to call him and apologize. I didn't do it. I just went to sleep early. This happened on Sunday, and I finally called him yesterday. He sounded upset with me. I'm not sure if it's because of my reaction or because I never called or texted him sooner after what happened. So, am I the jerk for how I reacted to my fiancé surprising me with our dream house? So the question that we probably know the answer to is he A, buying this house outright and this is a gift so she can live in this house for free forever, or B, strapping this mortgage to her for the next 30 years when she doesn't get any input on what she's paying a mortgage into? That's the big question, and it sounds pretty obvious that it's not the first one. I mean, it's kind of like giving someone the gift of massive responsibility without the joy of having them be excited about being able to participate in this. Sometimes what happens when you give people pets as gifts, for example, it'll work out really great. But in other cases, having a pet is a very personal thing, and having the person have no input or say on what that pet is or what type of pet that is, it can kind of, in some cases, take away the magic of even having that pet in the first place. And buying a house is a pretty big decision, like having a pet. In this case of the house, assuming the mortgage is 30 years, that's a long commitment. Someone else actually pointed out what's probably a better example than the pet one is when someone gives someone a car. You see this in videos on YouTube and you see this in movies and stuff, and there's a big ribbon on it, and a car won't last nearly as long as a house, but you still have to like the car, assuming you're the one that still has to pay for it. So what would you do if your fiance chose a house for the both of you to live in without consulting you? Let me know down below, and jerk or not a jerk, and why. Am I the jerk for not driving 12 miles to deliver food after knowing the customer purposely put the wrong address in? Besides my regular job, I do a part-time delivery job, DoorDash. This morning around 11, I get this order 2.7 miles away for $6. When I arrived there, the lady who opened the door said that she didn't order the food. I show her the address and she says, "The address is correct, but I didn't order this. That's not my name. I don't know anyone by this name either." I texted the customer's number, no response. I was waiting on the line to talk to someone from the Dasher support when I get this text from the customer saying that I'm at the wrong address. They send the new address. I look it up and it's 12 miles from where I was. So I text her and I say, I am not going to drive 12 more miles for $6. If I knew she lived that far, I would never have accepted the order. I offered to bring it back to Chick-fil-A so she can come pick it up. She then calls me saying I have to deliver it to her house because she already paid for the food. Her kids are waiting for lunch. It's not fair to them. I asked why she didn't check the address before confirming her order. She says she put the wrong address on purpose because the delivery fee was too much. At this point, I knew she was a scammer. So I tell her I'm delivering it to the address that's on my app. She can talk to customer service about her order. I dropped it off at the address on my app and completed the order. Now she's blowing up my phone with mean texts from multiple numbers saying I am a jerk and I stole her food. Then she tried to leave a negative review after contacting customer service, but DoorDash removed it. I think she got what she deserved, but I'm also feeling bad for her kids. Am I the jerk here for not driving 12 miles miles to deliver food after the customer purposely put the wrong address in. The OP said it right. This customer is a straight up scammer. This is really a cruel thing that people do, and it sounds like it happens more and more because I see some of those videos online where delivery drivers will get all kinds of stuff like this happening from customers. I think it's really wrong to take advantage of people that are just trying to make a delivery and then you lie about the delivery drop zone because the delivery fee is too expensive so that the delivery driver can eat the entire cost of this whole thing. That's just so very selfish. I mean, in that case, if you're trying to save money, you could probably walk to some place closest to your house and not have to pay any delivery fee at all. So if you were the driver in this situation, what would you do? And let me know, jerk or not a jerk, down below. If you haven't already subscribed, notifications turned on, make sure to do that on YouTube. And don't forget to follow AmITheA on Instagram. There's a bunch of cool videos over there you can check out. So the link is down below in the description if you'd like to follow on Instagram. And make sure to check out the podcast as well, also linked down below. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.